This is an FAIU Composer 2.0 help video. The general topic is pieces, and this specific video is on working set and manipulations. So we're just going to open up Composer here. So if we look at the Pieces Manager, we see we have a certain number of pieces in the scene. But we have another thing next to it called the working set, which you can get at with the W key. The working set looks very similar in that it's a list of all the pieces in the scene, but in this selection manager, we get to sort of pick just the scenes that we're really working with right now. And what I mean by that is, for example, maybe right now we've got walls and a person and headlight, a camera and pedestal and a second person. So maybe right now all we're really looking to work with are the two people. And that the walls and the pedestal are set, that we're not really working with the camera right now, and that the headlight is not really something we want to work with at all. It's just automatic. So we really just want to limit what we're working with right now and what's available to us to just the two people. So we would just select just person one and person two in the working set, and then use the button on the lower right-hand corner, which is Use Selected. Okay. Now, what happens as a result of that is that this menu here, the pieces sort of selection box, is then limited to only have have those two entries, just person one and person two. There are other pieces in the scene, but what's available to us here is just what we've decided is in the selection set. To the right of it, we have the manipulation selector, which is to say what it is that we intend to do with this piece right now, how it is that we're going to work with it. And a selection of a piece, which is what you're working with, and a manipulation, which is how you intend to work with it, gives you an interface that's useful for doing the thing that you're looking to do. Okay, and so as an example, both person one and person two are pieces of type persons, so they have the same kinds of manipulations. If you take a look at what's available, we have SRT, which is scale, rotation, and translation. We have full body. We have stance, torso, left arm, right arm, and we also have head and neck. Okay? And what this allows us to do is sort of pick what aspect of the person we're really working on right now. So SRT, as an example, gives us a view which allows us to just sort of move the person around very easily in terms of their scale, their rotation, and their translation, where they are in the scene. And so I can use this manipulation and what's available as far as tools to just place the person. Now I can switch over to the person two and grab his SRT, maybe move him to a different place. So I can very quickly change what I'm working with and then maybe how I'm working with it by limiting my selection, my working set, to sort of just what I'm interested in working with, and then choosing a different piece to address and different manipulations within that piece to modify it appropriately. Maybe with person two, I'm going to start working with, say, their left arm. And we'll get to specific pieces and how you go about this later, but the idea is that I'm just working with that person's arm at the moment, and I just have tools that are useful for just manipulating that thing. And then I go back to person one, check something out over here, go back to person two and their left arm and make further adjustments. Okay? So the purpose here is to limit your scope and get rid of a lot of the clutter so you can just work on what it is that you're dealing with at the time. As far as how manipulations are made up, they're going to be different for different kinds of pieces. For the most part, you always have an undo button in the lower left-hand corner and a redo button in the lower right-hand corner. But these buttons in the middle will change based on what the type of manipulation is. So if this manipulation is for working with the left arm, and the things that make sense are a transform window and a pose loader and saver specifically for the left arm. That's what's available for working with the left arm as far as supplemental user interface. Comparatively, if I, say, move to the torso, I have similar selections. Let's try the SRT, which is dramatically different. The way the SRT works is I have a menu for adjusting the view, the top, the front, and the side for what I'm doing here, and a few other options. And then I also have a transform window for working with it. So I can can work with it in different ways. Because this is an SRT, it is not an arm. An SRT manipulation, which is about moving this guy around in space, it is not, say, the full body manipulation, which is just about loading and saving poses for the full body, or the left arm manipulation, which is more concerned with moving the arm around and therefore doesn't have options for changing the view around orthographically. Okay, so that's a basic overview of what manipulations are, what the working set is, and how you can sort of utilize the working set to keep track of what manipulations you're working with, and therefore how to manipulate individual pieces quickly and effectively.